Today we're going to take an office paper filing cabinet and turn it into a usable toolbox. You can pick these up for free everywhere. Let's make it into something usable. So this is what's known as a lateral filing cabinet, and you can pick these up everywhere for free. This is a 2-drawer. They actually come full height, as tall, it's double the width of a standard filing cabinet, but this one's just half the height. But you can get them full height with 5-6 drawers. You can get them even taller. But essentially the papers just go this way versus a regular filing cabinet where they go the other way. So this makes it ideal for tool storage, something else. But the biggest problem with any filing cabinet is the drawers are humongously deep and they have shallow sides because generally they need some sort of framework in there that has these that the paperwork can sit on. So what we're going to do, we're not going to modify the front or anything, but we're going to take a filing cabinet like this and we're going to add a second drawer above here. So you actually have two, you'll have one drawer that's about 5 inches deep and one that's about 4 inches deep or so. So the outside will look like this. You'll open it up and you'll have a second drawer that you can actually open and access everything. I've actually had this for quite a few years, but when I picked it up for free, I actually painted it black. So the very first thing to do to make it look like a toolbox and something you actually want in your garage is to paint it either black or red, and it will actually look like a toolbox, or blue or something. But if you leave it the standard colors, the puke green and stuff colors that they come with, it won't look like a toolbox. It'll look like a filing cabinet. And the paint's held up pretty good. It's scratched off in a couple areas. I'm not going to repaint it. I painted it, I think it's satin black, but I painted inside, outside, and it's held up amazingly well. I don't know, oh, you can kind of see in there the original color. It was just kind of like an off-white, office-y tan color. And the next thing I already started with that, you guys actually added wheels to it. So it can actually wheel around. I'll show you that, I guess. It's actually I just cut apart a creeper. I had this old AC Delco car creeper that was really crappy and you didn't want to roll around on it. So I actually just cut it in half. This was half. It actually folded up anyway, and I just welded framework under there. I could have just welded the wheels to it, but I figured the wheels were already attached to it and the framework wouldn't hurt. So I've got wheels under there, but I mean, you could do anything as far as that. Go pick up some $3 wheels from Harbor Freight or something, or just actually even go pick up one of those, go pick up one of their dollies and just, take the wheels off that and screw it to the bottom of one of these. So what we're looking to do is when you open this, actually have a second drawer. And there's two options I can do too, and I haven't decided yet, is whether the top drawer will pull out with it, so you'll actually see just in the top one, and you actually push that in to reach down below. But I think that I'm going to pull this out and the top drawer is just going to stay. I'm going to be able to get whatever I want in here, and if I want to, I can reach in here and pull out the top drawer if I want to. Ideally, like these are full extensions, I would use full extension guides. This is a full extension guide. You can pick them up. They're not that expensive. This one I have is way too big. I have a bunch of these. These are standard kitchen drawers. They're good they'll hold whatever you put in here. They really will. They roll really nice, and so I think I'm just going to use these kitchen drawer. They're not full extension. They'll only allow a drawer to pull out about 80%, 85% of the way, but that's fine for the top drawer. The bottom drawer will pull out, the other drawer will be right here, so you won't really see in there. The top drawer, it won't go all the way up to the top, so you'll still be able to see in there. So I'm just going to essentially mount two drawer guides in here on each side and build a drawer that can come out. Ideally, if you could find this is a plan I've had in my head forever, if you could find an identical set of filing cabinets, you find an identical set, you could actually cannibalize one, and essentially, because all the drawer hardware is essentially the same. I mean, you could take all this out, you could just, there's just some tack welds or spot welds, and just take this one out of the other one and just put another one up here and just have a second drawer up here. You would already have a drawer like this. Just cannibalize the drawer and cut off the face of it. Just cut off this whole face and make your own face for it and put it in there. I'm going to make a drawer out of metal, but there's absolutely no reason you couldn't just quickly make a plywood drawer. And so I'm going to mount these in here. I'm just going to screw them onto the sides, and then I'm going to make a drawer. The rough shape cut out, and these black lines are what I'm going to fold up. So enable the even though this is only 22 gauge, you're not going to get a good edge. If you try hammering this, you can get a decent edge, but you're not going to get a crisp edge. The easiest way to do it is to score it. So I'm going to take my angle grinder, and I'm using one of these diamond blades. I actually really like that, and these shine in areas like cutting sheet metal, stuff like that. They're not so great if you're cutting, if you're cutting 1-inch square stock. An abrasive disc is better. But this right here, because I can keep the full depth of the blade, and I have a whole video on these diamond blades. So I'm going to just score, roughly cut through half the thickness of the metal, and even if I did go through, it wouldn't be a big deal. And it's going to allow me this is just going to bend like butter, just with my hand. It's just going to be a nice, crisp, like solid edge. And if I think that edge is compromised, you can go back from the inside and just put 1 or 2 tack welds, and it won't go anywhere, but it won't be. So now it's just a matter of trying to hold a straight edge and run it down. So maybe I'll put down a piece of angle iron or something so I can just bump this up against it and just skim across the top a couple times. If you got them scored good, if you got it scored good, sometimes you'll be even able to see it starting to crease on the back. It'll just start folding up. The heat will just start pulling it in. And so, it looks like this one got so nice. It's actually creasing. This one's creasing. This one's not. So this is going to be my hardest edge to bend. But let's just... Look how nice that edge is. That looks factory. And inside here where you cut the groove is on the inside. You can't see anything. So originally I was going to fold these in, but I think I'm just going to tack weld down the sides. So these can actually just go. And generally, you want to fold it in a little bit further than you should, and you bring it back. And that puts everything nice, snug, and tight. And we'll just put put a nice little weld up the outside. These are loose enough. Just do little stitch welds like you're doing auto body. So I cut out a little, we'll call it J-channel for the front handhold. So since this is where you'll be pulling it from, this is just going to slide on the front, so your hands have something to pull on, and it also spread out the load, just so you don't get the little bit of flex in there, just like a toolbox drawer. So I'll just tack weld this little piece right in here, and I just bent this up the same way by taking the angle grinder, slicing it in about half the thickness of the metal, and then just bending it by hand. Now I'm just taking the hinges, and I'm actually just tack welding them to the bottom permanently. Tack weld them, test fit them. I can break the tack welds if they're not good, and we'll go from there. Looks factory. Let's put in another drawer. I need to weld them up a little bit better. Let's throw this in too. Little flat black spray paint. There it is. Some drawer liner. We'll pull this out. Let's hook it in there. The bottom drawer, I didn't want to do the bottom drawer because I wanted to leave that deep. It has these little dividers. One of them kind of goes towards the back. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. This divider was actually on the top. This is what the filing things hold on. I don't know if I'm just going to leave this in here or take it out. Might be nice. I plan on stacking oil bottles and stuff in here, and it actually might be nice to kind of stack them between and segregate them so that when you slam the drawer, they don't fall over, stuff doesn't shift around the top. But I could put a drawer down there. You know, if you leave it open, put them both closed at the same time. We took this toolbox, it was full of about 100 pounds worth of round wrenches, and we put it in here just to weight it down. So I put half of it down in here, and I put half of it up in here. So it seems to be handling the weight just fine. These drawer guides aren't the best, but that's what I had on hand. The full extension ones like this that come generally on a toolbox are better. These would work far better. I just didn't have any in the right length. I had a whole bunch. All of them are just super long. But if I was going to buy some, that's what I would do. I wouldn't buy these ones. The full extensions aren't that expensive, and they allow you to... I can't come out any further than that. I actually had to pull it out, but it works. Close it. Got probably 75 pounds, 60 pounds down here. 75 pounds. Toolbox down there. This one does have a cool feature where there's a pulley system that attaches the top drawer to the bottom drawer. See, when the one drawer is out, it doesn't want you to pull out the other one. It actually starts pulling the other one back in, so you don't pull them both out and it doesn't tip over on you. But you can grab what you want. It closes both. Would be way easier if you just had two of these, and I actually looked for a sister. I got this one years ago, but I actually was looking online for a sister to this one so that I could just cut it apart, because then I could just add another drawer. I could have modified the drawer fronts or just had a drawer all pre-made that I could have just slid in there. If I had a sister one, it probably wouldn't fit 4, but it would fit 3. I was going to cut these down to make it look more like a toolbox. If it has the little loop handles, I would have ripped those off. And I would have added, and I still might, where you have this little, call it a J channel, where you have that little, that looks more like a toolbox, and I would have mounted that to the front, and I might still do that here. I might actually just make another one and mount one here and down there so you can grab it. This one's not too bad. I mean, this one's not too bad because it's towards higher on the drawer, but this one should be up here because you gotta, you know, you want to reach right here, but you got to reach down towards the bottom. Not a big deal. It's a functional toolbox. So we have 150 pounds in here, not a ton, and it rolls around easy, but this isn't going to be a rolling cabinet. But that works, kind of fun for free, no cost, just a little project. So I guess I just got to put some stickers on it and stuff like that. It'll look more like a toolbox. Thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Free toolboxes, just a little bit of labor. Have a good one, bye. Vintage wrenches, anyone?